Hello, 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 Taurus. Welcome, welcome. This is Patty, and I'm here to do your intuitive reading from the October 12th through the 18th. So let's get started. So I'm going to pull some energies from the oracles to see what the week is actually going to bring for you as far as energies. And then we'll get into the cards and find out more about what's going on with you this week. So let's get going. So this is for the week for Taurus for the 12th through the 18th. Now you guys have a, well, everybody does, but there is a full new moon. Actually, it's a super moon that's coming in on the 16th. So that's going to be a lot of energy coming in because it's going to be really close to the Earth. And then also we have Mars that was just close to the Earth, not quite. I'm trying to think here. It was the 6th. So it's a little bit further away, but still the powers are just, the energies are just phenomenal. So this is going to be a real interesting week with this new moon in there. So we have flying out as the first energy. Okay, and that can be a good thing, or it can be one that's sort of all over the place like it is right now. That's the energy that is happening. So, and I think on the new moon, I've got to look at some of my notes too. The new moon's in Libra. So Libra is all about equality and fairness and justice and that kind of thing. So it can be all over the place because we still have Mars retrograde in there. And so your week might be all over the place only because there's so much conflicting. And then Uranus is coming in with Mercury opposing and all kinds of stuff. So there is going to be movement, definitely movement. I think there's going to be a, let's see, this is through the 18th. So not this week, but the following week. There's going to be a lot of surprises and energies that come in with some packs of punch of information kind of thing. So, and that doesn't mean the political stuff, but it could be, there could be a systemic type of uprising coming at the end of the month. So, but yeah, this one here, this flying over the energy, which is 2, and 2 is all about balance, and it can also mean division as well. And then we have movement, which is 10, which could be 10, or it could be a completion of something. But it also could mean an accumulation of something as well as a new beginning. So there's a new movement, which you'll find out that during this new moon, there will be a time to plant a seed for new intentions for the next 6 months. So this all makes sense to me because even through the confusion, then there is going to be the intention again to plant a seed. So whatever you want to do, you want to make sure you plant that seed for the next 6 months to try to make that come into fruition. So this is a really key time with this new moon that's coming in on your week. All right. So let's get started and see where we're going to go with the energies with that. So hopefully all you guys are doing good and doing safe. Just not really too much new news other than if you look at, I have dailies. We're doing dailies every week, just the daily energies to give you up a lift and a boost and everything like that. So hope you want to look at that. So let's get started here. All right. So for some of you, there's been such chaos here going on that during this week, it looks like there's a lot that needs to maybe get started out with some rest and taking care of yourself. So we have the 4 of Swords. We have the Knight of Wands, and we also have the 7 of Swords. So for your week, it looks like, well, there's some communication issues and somebody's keeping a secret, keeping something hidden, which is very, very common because I'm trying to think here, which planet is it? Usually Mercury is trying to figure things out and seeks truth and things like that. So I think there's a little bit of that going on here for you. Somebody's trying to communicate. You're just like, I don't know if I can trust her, or if I can really believe what they're saying. And you're trying to trust and believe in them, but it's just not really, your heart's just not quite there yet. Yeah. Also, too, I think there's some communication that's starting at work that is needing that seed to be planted. So if you're at work and you're actually having maybe some communication issues, then that would be something that you want to work on as well. Yeah, because there's some stuff there's been some bickering that has already been done. This is Mars. Mars is actually very much into bickering and fighting and conflict. So there has been some bickering. Ooh, and maybe there's been some overseeing, and maybe there's somebody trying to oversee all this. Yeah. Um, so I think this is in a relationship as well. I don't have a relationship card. The reason why I think it is, we have the Three of Wands, which is also about communication. We got a lot of communication here. And not only that, that is about, you've got three of them together. So you've got three communication things together. So there might have been some arguing or some bickering or trying to set your own point this week. And you're trying to make your point this week, and you're now starting to step back and say, you know what, maybe I need to make a change. Maybe I need to do something different. So now you're thinking of maybe other different opportunities or another way of doing something. You're just sort of overseeing your opportunities or your chances that you have to maybe improve your life, improve things better. And you're wanting to sort of do that alone. So you're wanting to sort of hang out at home for a little bit. And that's a good thing, because as we do this, while we get through this month of October, which is all chaos and confusion, it's all about justice, fighting our independence, sort of like, we don't want to follow the rules and regulations anymore. We want to do what's best for us. So this is now a reflection time, and you're thinking about the future here. And there is something that you just basically had a, whether it's a physical, like a verbal argument, or you're like struggling in yourself, like, I'm sick of this, I gotta change, or it's gotta change, or this job's gotta change, or something has to change. That's going to be this week, and definitely is going to create some movement for you. Definitely, definitely. All right. See what else. What is more in the future for you? All right. I'm tired today. Sorry. I'm just exhausted. It has been, I'm being an empath in this moon and the Mars and all this is going on. And there's a lot of people coming to me for more tools, tips, how to handle things and do things. It's, if you're an empath, you know what energy vipers are. So I've been viped a little bit this week. So bear with me a little bit. I'm a little mellow this week. So we have the King of Cups. Okay. We have the Six of Pentacles. And we have the World. So definitely something is going on at work. But also, like I said, there has been sort of a kerfuffle or something going on that's creating some internal upheaval. Like there's some anxiety or like frustration or something going on. That's typical right now with Mars and the Moon, and not only that, the retrograde, but also with the other planets that are in alignment. So as we notice with the King of Cups, that's like you're trying to stay calm, but it just isn't working. It's like your anxiety, it's like you try to come up and then you try to stay calm, and it's just not working. So whatever you're going through, and there is something that has been sort of stirring up, and again, that might be something to do with this betrayal or something going on with a relationship. So anytime there's a betrayal, there's another person, but is that a lover? Is that a friend? Is that a partner? Is that a family member? I don't know. That would be, you would know that, because these two came up side by side and you're like, here we go again. It's like, I just went through a battle with this person and now I'm doing it again. It's almost like a cycle kind of thing. And then you're trying to oversee and watch if this is actually going to change, right? This is, you're now overseeing. It's like, okay. And you're thinking into your future that maybe you need to change something for yourself, for the better for yourself. So that is why the King of Cups came up sort of in a storm. So there's an internal, and that's typical for right now with everything that's going on with the planets. But the thing is, this internal storm that you're having is very typical and normal. It's just what you have to do is for what's best for you. So with this other person, if they're going to be, whether it's work, I feel like somebody at work is creating some havoc as well. The communication, and somebody's overseeing, and like maybe there's somebody nitpicking for somebody. That might be for someone, or for some of you might be that way. And then also too, the other person, I think has to do with like an inner struggle. You need to be moving forward, and you just sort of need to make a change to do that. And the reason why I say that is you need balance coming into your life. The Six of Pentacles is about balance, and not only balance, sorry, not only balance, but it also needs to be harmony. So right now you don't have a lot of that with you. And the reason why you don't have it is because the moon and the Mars and Uranus and Mercury are all, and again, it's that physical independence that we want. That is Mars, and then we have Uranus, where it's all about justice and truth and fairness and all that kind of stuff. So you're having this, but in all the end, if you really follow what your intuition is and what you're supposed to be doing for yourself inside, not whatever is happening outside, then you can have this. You can have the world. But the biggest part through this next week, through the 12th through the 18th, is to try to stay calm, because that's when you can think the best. That's when you can figure things out and find a solution. That's when you can actually keep looking forward to that forward movement for the next month. Because this is a really hard time with the new moon. It's going to be a really challenging time, because the power of the moon that is coming in is just as strong as Mars. All right, so let's see what else there is. So somebody's actually, in a relationship, for some of you, there is somebody who is just telling you that they love you, they care for you, but their heart isn't being honest and true. And that's really hard to detect for many people, because if you aren't mature or know the games of the opposite sex, or your partner, know your partner well enough, then you can fall for that. Yeah. And what's really interesting is what's really interesting is we started out with the Four of Swords. Well, in numerology, the number 4 is stability. So I'm thinking that this is rocking the stability, because the communication or whatever is happening is facing that. So the communication is way off. That somebody's being not honest. Somebody's saying, "Oh, I love you," but in return, they got another game going on back here with somebody else. And thank you. And so that's why okay, thank you. Sadly. So and that's why this feels like you've done this over and over again. It's like, is this pattern going to really keep repeating itself? It will only keep repeating itself if you allow it to. Don't allow it to. And that will actually grow the other person if you don't allow it to. So again, that's where you're thinking of your future here. We're thinking about the forward movement. All right. We're thinking about the forward movement for Taurus. Yeah. Okay, so let's get clarity on this and see where we are headed. This is clarity for the week. Ah, okay, we'll split them there if that's where you want them. Yeah. So the Five of Cups is all about, there is some disheartenment, or maybe some sadness, some disappointment when expectations and reality happened. They didn't turn out the way that you expected them to. And so you're focusing in on that negative part, that sad part, rather than turning around and finding out, like, for example, whew, shot that bullet. I didn't have to date him and find out, or her, that, she was a little wacko. Sort of in that sense. All right. So you just sort of missed the bullet per se. So that is a good thing, because that's what the divine does. The divine actually protects us. When we even go through something and he pulls something away from us, he's protecting us or giving a lesson and growing a lesson. And that's what's happening here. So this is what's happening to you. Somebody is, for some of you, there's really been an off balance for you in your relationship anyway. So, and this is where somebody's sadness is coming in. It's just like, I never get a break. It's always his way, or it's always her way, and I never get to do what I want to do, or, what, this is sort of ridiculous. And that's when people begin to start to stray. They start to cheat. They start lying, those kind of things, because they're not honest and saying, hey, you know what, this relationship's getting a little stale. Why don't we do something to spice it up? Rather than coming in honesty, they get bored and then they start cheating. Yeah, the balance. The star is a very, very good card, very high energy card. And it's also about, thank you. It's all about showing your true side. It's like exposing all of yourself, telling yourself, sharing everything about yourself, feeling that comfortability about sharing everything with yourself, but also with somebody else. So that's a thing that you really want to look at. In this, again, we're hitting balance, where where we're going to make it, we're going to win, is we need that balance in our life. We also need to have some go through our storm. And this is where we get the truth. And the truth, this is what the planets are all about right now, is that the truth. They're seeking the truth this month. And it's not pretty because you've got so much conflict going on. All right. There's so much conflict going on. It's almost like the bipolar ends are coming together. So like Mercury is all about, digging and finding the truth. And Uranus is all about sharing the truth and things like that. All right. All right. Let's see what else for Taurus. Yeah, somebody's been feeling like they've been carrying the burden. They feel like they've been carrying the burden and things are not balanced. Not balanced. So maybe with this, maybe whoever you're with, that's a time for a conversation of saying, hey, you know what? Can we sit down and talk about this for a minute? Because I think I'm carrying too much of the load. Or they're carrying too much of the load and maybe you need to pick up. So that might be for some of you out there. All right. Ooh. Then I'm going to do something a little different for Taurus at the end here. So I already was headed there. Thank you very much. So I'm actually going to pull 3 cards and see what the energy is for those who are single, looking for a romantic connection. So that is something I am going to do a little bit here for a couple of weeks and see how that works for everybody, if they like it, if they don't. So for this one here, there is apparently a relationship starting. So let's find out what the energies are for this single person that is looking for some love, and find out where that's going to be this week. For others, for some of you, it's just getting yourself in balance and listening to what you really, really want this next week, because there is going to be some conflict. There is going to be movement. It's not going to be fast movement, but it is time to look and see if you're in a conflict, like I said, how long do you want to put up with that cycle? How long do you want to keep that cycle going? And this is something that you'll want to just start looking for. Okay, so we have nice. So we have the 10 of Cups. So somebody is going to be meeting somebody that is actually more family oriented. So they might be a little bit mature. They are looking for more of a long-term commitment. And they're looking for somebody that is pretty much, not exactly like them, but close to who they are. And, as far as their likes and dislikes, they don't want to be polar opposites kind of thing. But this is for a long-term commitment. So if you're not looking for a long-term commitment, you come into somebody, you might ask them, hey, what do you want? What's your intent? Or what do you want to do? What are you looking for? Are you looking for a hookup? Are you looking for short-term commitment? Are you looking for, marriage? What is it that you're looking for? Because I think this person is looking for marriage. We have the King of Wands in reverse. Okay. So we have the 10 of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, and the King of Wands. So this person is really attracted, but they don't know how to communicate it very well. They're very family oriented. They're confident, but they're not confident in telling you that that's what they want, because that might turn you off. Okay, so for whoever's single out there and is looking, this person who is going to come to you, or maybe you already met them, just know that you might have to coach them out with communication a little bit, or help them get more comfortable in saying that, yes, you can go ahead and talk to me. I am, open. I'm not going to judge you. Let's talk about this freely. Let's do that kind of thing. So that will be for the person who is single and looking. So that is your reading, Taurus. I hope it helped. Just remember to try to stay calm through the week. There is going to be there's going to be more inner turmoil for you, because you're trying to get through something, and that something has to do with another person. Of them, maybe a cycle keeps happening over and over. Maybe they're lying, maybe they're not being truthful. But just remember to look at the positive side, how you can turn that into a positive, how you can turn that into something from a negative, like, okay, this person's weakness is this. Okay, how can I make them stronger in that? Or how can I just say, it's time to go. So that is your reading, and I hope you have a good week, and we will talk to you next week. Oh, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll know when I'm on live. And notice that I am doing dailies, so the only way that you probably will get to know what that daily is to subscribe and hit the bell. All right, we'll talk to you soon.